Hello everyone, my name is Javier Vergara with the Alpine X Restyle team, and today I want to show you how to install an X009-GM kit into this 2013 GMC Yukon. So let's get started.
So the first thing we have to do is look at the vehicle. If it has a Bose system, if there are any additional options that we want to retain, such as the XM, this vehicle also happens to have OnStar. So when we are ready to flash the Maestro module, this is something we can actually retain. After that, we're going to look at the steering wheel control and make sure that once we flash a module is the correct steering wheel control. In this case, this one has the telephone icon, and this is what we'll need to pick once we are flashing the module. So now we're going to flash our Maestro module, and the first thing we need to do is plug it in with the supply cable. With Internet Explorer, we'll log on to the iDialing Maestro website and click on Flash Your Module. After we click on Flash Your Module, it's going to detect the hardware. And that's going to allow us to select the type of vehicle, which in this case it's a GMC. The year is 2013, and the model is a Yukon. After that, we're going to be able to select the trim, which in this case is not navigation equipped. And we can select the steering wheel controls. In this case, it does have a telephone icon, so we'll just confirm. So hit confirm. So now we select the brand of the head unit, which happens to be Alpine, and then we're going to pick the model, which is the X009-GM. Now we can enter the serial number that's engraved on the head unit itself, or you can find it also on the box, and then click Next. Now we can choose which OEM systems to retain. We do have steering wheel controls, so we want to keep that. It does have OnStar. We also want to retain that. We do want to be able to display the vehicle's information, and this vehicle is also equipped with Park Assist. Okay, we do have a Bose amplifier, and it does have XM satellite radio, which you also want to retain. This is the steering wheel command section, and every time you highlight each one of the buttons, it'll actually tell you what has been pre-programmed. Each one of the buttons has two functions, one by pressing once, and the second one by pressing and hold the button. Now, if you look at the drop-down menu, you can actually change each one of those commands to anything else you may want. Now, in this case, we're not going to do that, so we're just going to click Next, but just know that that is an additional option that the module offers. After we click Next, we're going to get a progress bar at the bottom. If you look on the right-hand side, there's a print wallet card icon. That allows you to print a record of the commands that have been programmed into this module. So, click on that. You can see which settings have been programmed, and that will allow you to print it. Now we can click on out of here, and we can see that the flashing has been completed. In this step, we're going to place the harnesses that connect the head unit to the bezel in the opening where they belong. Now, one of the things I like to do is to place the bezel in front of the head unit so I know exactly which plug belongs where. Right after that, we're going to secure it with a piece of tape so it's not falling off once you flip the head unit over. We're going to start taking the center console apart because our main Maestro module and our external speaker will be placed in there. Now we also need to take the A-pillars off along with the vent cover because that's where our GPS antenna will be placed, on top of the dash, right below the cover. Alright, so now we're going to take the head unit out. We're going to start by using a panel remover tool, and what you want to do is start by a flexible area, which is usually the center, and then follow through. Okay, right after that, we're going to remove 8 screws, 4 on each side, to remove the entire center area. So now we're going to modify our HVAC control and our cigarette lighter panel. And in red, you can see the areas that need to be completely cut off. Now, I like to use a D8 grinder for this, but you can also use an air saw. Now that both of our pieces are modified, we can move on to the next step. Place the GPS antenna in the factory location as shown, and we're going to feed the cable through the middle of the vents down to the head unit. At this point, we're also going to attach our FM antenna adapter, and we're also going to move the factory wire harness down to the back of the center console. So module is flashed already, we don't need to worry about that. We just plug these in. There we go. So we're gonna feed these cables from the back. to the front. All right, there we go. We have our 3 main harness. Down at the LBD2 connector on the driver's side, we're going to locate the tan and tan black wires and solder each one of them to the corresponding wires on the Alpine harness. Be sure to attach a rear support bracket, as it will provide the additional support to the head unit since it's slightly heavier than most factory head units. Plug in all the cables and harnesses behind the head unit and move any excess cabling into the cavity. At this point, we're going to use the rear bracket to align the head unit into place. You'll notice that it's a nice and snug fit. Also, to prevent any damage to the face of the head unit, we recommend that you use a Phillips screwdriver to secure the head unit using the provided screws. Okay, so let's mount our HVAC panel on, followed by the cigarette lighter panel, and we're going to continue with the radio bezel. So now that we have our bezel, we're going to plug it in, make sure we have both connections on, and once we start fitting the wires in, we need to make sure that we push towards the inside so that we get it all lined up and the bezel it's clear from anything behind it. So once you snap it in, it should be nice and neat, and we're completely done. Okay, so now that we have everything plugged in, let's check that everything works. We'll check the interface, we'll check the Navi, and we'll check some of the vehicle information. So the first thing, we're gonna let it boot up, and then we're gonna check out our steering wheel controls, make sure everything works. So we have volume up, volume down. All right, let's get rid of the screen. Now we have radio. So we hit track up. That works. Track down. That works. Navigation. Looks like we're good. Source. That works. So we're good. We have all the basic controls working. Okay. So now we check out our vehicle information. So we hit the info. And as you can see, everything seems to be working fine. We have tire pressure. We have voltage. We have some of the other vehicle information.
So that's a wrap. We put the vehicle back together. We tested all the functions on the X009. So if you need more product information, visit us at alpine-usa.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram.